This week we play musical chairs with the Olympic containers, we have more new vehicles arriving in the yard, and at the refurbishment project we have a dilemma. Should you pay £100,000 to prevent something which may never happen? I'm Daniel and it's Ashville Weekly episode 148. It's Monday morning. I'm not in the yard, I'm at the refurbishment project. We are about to start screeding on the first floor. But before we can start screeding, we need the grab to come in and take away a load of muck. I need to show you last week how we got to this point, laying the underfloor heating on the entire first floor. And now the lorry is backing in. We're gonna complete this entire first floor in a couple of hours and it should be dry and we'll be able to walk on it by tomorrow morning.
So we agree we're going to hang the unit here.
Yes.
And we're going to run 2 ducts up here. My engineers can fix from the trusses and just have the unit hung here.
The owner's the same height as me. He needs to be able to walk under it. I need you to get it high as possible.
No problem. This is high.
Yeah, there. Can we put you up there?
Yeah. Just
Yeah?
make it like up to here.
We're working on where the air conditioning units are going to be. Master bedroom and dressing, we're going to sit him in that corner over there. But if you have a look at all the joists, we're going to have to rework them and strengthen them to make larger openings so they can get to the units for servicing. In the loft, the unit is going to sit up here and then we're going to have one grill pushing the fresh air in and another grill taking the stale air out so we have circulation. For the 2 bedrooms, the units will sit in the loft void space. We need to be able to create access so engineers can service it moving forward. We need to do all of this now, just before we run the electric so we can work around it. But we need to tie the acoustic work in up here with the bases and structures we put in place for the aircon units. There's a lot going on.
And then we're going to run 2 ducts.
Just finished the aircon meeting, plan in place, he's giving orders. Drill this hole here, run this pipe here, create this box in here, but it needs to be done. So now we know what we're doing. I'm gonna leave now and head to the £15 million house. However, there's a lot going on in plant hire. On Saturday, we loaded a 13-ton machine onto the back of the flatbed. Ben is dropping that off this morning. And once he drops that off, he's going to the other job where we dropped off the 9-ton and 13-ton last week, and he's gonna collect one of those machines and bring it back to the yard. Montage. On the road again. Something just came through from the office. We have a gentleman who lives and works in Kuwait called Aziz Yusuf. Now he wants to have an umbrella delivered to Germany because he's in Germany at the moment. But when he asked for the delivery, he sent pictures of an Ashville model he's made. Have a look at this. Hey, this man is serious. That is what I call a scale model. Like, you have my full attention. Like, the whole office is gassed looking at these models. I've sent it to the team, everyone's looking at it. This is what we're all talking about at the moment. You have completely smashed it. Monday morning, I'm in the yard t-shirts, which I'm not wearing at the moment. I was on site, I didn't want to get it dirty. I know you can wear it to work, but I'm still trying to keep it fresh. The sales of that are going really well. If you guys look below, the store is here, and we've been working hard to set the store up on all our digital platforms, including Facebook. What brings me up to my next point. So we've been trying to align all our social media platforms so the store is also there to give people ease and convenience. Our Facebook was kind of scattered. There were multiple profiles. There are fake profiles. So we have this is Ashville one, easy to find. So we finally have a Daniel Ashville LOUISY one. Make sure you follow the right one, not any of the fake pages. It's Facebook.com/Daniel Ashville LOUISY. It's got the Building Impossible banner and me in a black t-shirt as the profile picture. Give it a couple likes, because the fake page, what says that I studied at GB Rail Freight, that's not my page, and it's got more likes than my actual one. But I only did it at the weekend, so I can understand why that would be, why it would have more likes. £15 million house, it's all about the finishing detail. Now, it's raining out here, so we can't apply the final polished concrete finish. So we're doing all the other bits and pieces which we can do outside, which are not affected by the weather. This area, there needs to be a row of mosaic tiles here, but we had concrete which was used to fit these tiles, and we also had damages to this from where we removed the existing. So what we did was chip away all the little bits of concrete and removed all the loose debris. Now we've applied an adhesive to it so the surface is flat, but we've applied it so we have just enough space to fit the mosaics on top. Now we've done 3 sides of the pool. We've got one more to do, then we can start fitting the mosaics. After we've done that, we have to do the exact same job on the hot tub. Back in the yard, terrible weather, but luckily the Ashville umbrella keeps us all dry. 2 weeks ago you saw us put a machine onto our electrical incoming cable, what lets us know exactly how much power we're using. So after the 2 weeks here, we're going to plug a USB in and we're going to download all the information, and we're going to move it from here over into the other yard onto the electrical supply over there, so we can determine exactly how much power we're using. So we're not crazy busy today. So we went and delivered some material, and we brought back some material that we don't store in the yard. A 2 to 6 limestone and a 4 to 20 mil limestone. Tipped them off, and now the lads are making bulk bags out of it, which we're just going to keep in stock, because normally when we need them, then we're running around and panicking trying to make them. So we may as well make them, so we've got them ready, and then hopefully some other work comes in. Doesn't seem to be anyone coming into the yard to collect material today, but we have done some collections today. Firstly, we've gone to collect Flo's Ford Fiesta van. And we've also gone to collect Sam's new Amarok. You got an intro for both of them. It's Tuesday morning. I'm heading into the city of London because I have a breakfast meeting at the Ned at 8 AM. The time is 6:45. We're not having much luck at the moment with lorries. End of the day yesterday, one of our Volvo volumetrics had to get recovered and taken back to Volvo in Hayes. Problem with the power steering, what they couldn't come out and fix. I hope we're gonna get that lorry back today, but it's unlikely. In other news, my mum received her Monday morning I'm in the yard care package yesterday, and she sent me this picture to say thank you. So just letting me know she got it. But then out of nowhere, my mum decided to turn her swag on, take a look in the mirror, say what's up. Yeah, my son runs lorries, yeah. And she went and got her bling and her spectacles. And then she went through the photo shoot of when you look to the side and you look sophisticated. So well done, mum, turning up the swag 100%. That made me happy yesterday. Now I wait for the list of people in St. Lucia who my mum, as the head of distribution, believe needs an Ashville t-shirt. So I've spoken to Felix though. I have the world's biggest container ship on standby, and I have thousands of containers which are all ready. So production's going at 1,000 miles an hour, trying to get all these t-shirts ready, because everybody will need one for each day of the week, saying a different day. Don't worry, mum, I'm getting ready. Back in the yard, the glass is gone. We're taking it out and we're dismantling as much as we can. The plan has changed, as it keeps doing with this. The office over the other side, the back side of it, is perfect. We have to do lots of work to the front side of this one. But rather than doing all this work now, we want to put one together and finalize how we're going to build it. We're going to take the back from the other one, swap it with this. We're going to lift these up, put them on some RSJs. We're going to bolt them together. And then so we've only really got the new construction along the front there. On the side here, which will be 8x2 timbers. And then the timbers which are going to remain on the other side, which are 4x2, we're going to attach another 4x2 to it to build it out. So we have 8 inches all round. Build this up to about 1.2, and then we can measure up for the glass. It's been a long time since we've actually bought some PVC windows. Generally on the builds we're doing, all the windows are aluminium or timber. But I need to speak to a glazing company that can provide us with some black framed PVC, double glazed, laminated, toughened, acoustic, self-cleaning with some sort of film on it that it doesn't cook the people who are in here, and talk about some cool opening mechanisms, which kind of defeats the purpose of making everything soundproof, which then you're going to make it so you can open the window, but you do need to open it for some fresh air every now and then. .707. Going to open up the workshop quickly. The Fiesta is in here because tomorrow morning they are doing the artwork. So we put it under the cover here so it's nice and dry, and if it does rain, they've got a space to work. I'm going to try and head to the gym and be back early tomorrow. Wednesday morning, I'm in the yard, hit the gym, just got in, and I can see that the 926 is moving the material to the back, piling it up so we can make some space at the front, because we have a train coming in at 9:30 tomorrow morning. What's happening? How you getting on? You look very smart. What are you doing, going tipping?
No, I've got to go and move that bin.
Oh yeah.
That move for tomorrow. So
Yeah, we've got to make some space. What? New whip? Right about now I feel like Hasselhoff in Knight Rider. Except the car doesn't talk to me. It's not a Pontiac and it's not a big engine. But ain't it decent? Nice. I think Flo's going to be happy when he comes back from holiday. Someone else who's happy at the moment is Michael, because we've just received a delivery for the materials for the Olympic container. I had an email from the company that put the cameras in our new Volvo that arrived week before last. I just thought cameras are cameras, but I think these cameras have some sort of live feed. So it's not something we've ever used before. So I'm going to arrange some training for Terry and Tony, because they're the ones who have to download footage when we have an unfortunate incident on the road. We've always had just standard cameras, but if they're live and we can see a lot more, then, you know, that's handy enough. It may come in use. And the Volvo volumetric that was towed yesterday, Volvo have said they have to take apart the entire power steering system and put it back together. So we're not going to get that lorry back for a few days. However, the other Volvo volumetric that went in, it got MOT'd and tested yesterday. So that's come out, but then we're taking it straight into Southern Vulcanizing for them to do some work on the auger. The truth be told, we're not like that super flat out busy, so it's good to get all that work done at the moment. And we're having conversations about not being busy, we're making other calls, and people themselves aren't busy, so we have to do things what we wouldn't ordinarily have time to do, like bring in material, make bags, as you saw us doing on Monday, but we have to also manage our cash flow. In a situation like this, it's the solution to most problems. Rather than finding ways, skip lorry going past, rather than finding ways to save and penny pinch and not do this and not do that and panicking and selling lorries, you gotta just sell more. As long as your margins are decent and your overheads are staying the same, you can sell your way out of a problem. The Blues Brothers, they are hitting the phones hard. It's like a stock exchange in here. Sell, sell, sell. Not a race to the bottom, not like selling it for nothing. We still got to make something. And generally the clients who they would speak to on a daily basis, who they've got great relationships with, their projects aren't starting. So they're going out to find new people and existing people who use us for one service, but not for another. Sell, sell, sell. Ah, man, this is definitely no good for business. It will not stop raining. We did agree with someone that they would come in and offload the train in Flo's absence, because currently Flo is the only person trained on the LH60. But in the past couple of days, they've decided not to answer the phone to us and not communicate with us. I reached out to Paul Fox, and of course, when you got good business relationships, partnerships, friendships with people in the same industry, they're there to help out. One of the lads has drove down from Fox and he's going to operate the LH60 tomorrow and offload our train of sand and gravel. Regarding the original company that were meant to come and help us, you know, if you don't want to do something, and this goes for anything, not just them, it's better to just take off the Band-Aid and say,
I don't want to do it, I can't stand you, I don't want to do it, it's a conflict of interest, I don't want to do it because we don't like you, I don't want to do it because we're too busy.
Whatever the reason is, you know, just to give the person the courtesy to say you're not going to do it so they can make alternative arrangements and so they're not left in limbo. Like, it's just, when I'm in that position, even if it's bad news, I will say, I'm sorry, I can't do it, and this is the reason. And then you give a person a chance to go and find an alternative. But on this occasion, unfortunately, we weren't paid that courtesy. But thankfully, we managed to get it sorted. So shout out to Paul Fox, Fox Brothers, Welder Faber, Hurt Plant, and B&W Plant Hire. It's Thursday morning. Where are you? Oh, I'm in central London sitting in traffic. But the train has arrived in the yard, and Keith Dunkerley, who's come all the way from the north of the country, from Fox, is helping us get this train offloaded. That is Google's new office with a running track and a swimming pool and a garden on the roof. Madness. Had an emotional moment. The TV ads have started for Building Impossible, and the team have absolutely nailed it. They even had a Frank Sinatra track playing underneath it, which I was like, who's cutting onions? Who's cutting onions? My mum felt the same when she first saw it. Sorry guys, I can't play the audio because we don't have the rights to play the music, but this is another epic moment that I have to try to enjoy while doing my day job at the same time. Speaking of day jobs, I was speaking with the sales team. Now Darren's going on annual leave. Let's hope he can get some rest. He works hard, come back, rejuvenated, ready to go again. But before he leaves, I asked him to have a debrief with Sam so he can let him know all the things which he's pricing, everything which Sam needs to chase, because the worst thing we want is for the lads to work really hard trying to bring work in, and then they get a call while they're on holiday, and then we lose the work because you can't get hold of them. So we want to ensure that everybody is on the same page and we don't let any of our customers down, and we keep pushing forward, chasing people. When's this job going to start? Is there anything more we can do for you? Do you have any more jobs that we can get involved in? And the lads are going to do the same, vice versa, the other way around. So when Sam goes on holiday, he's going to give Darren a debrief to make sure that we are always pushing forward and trying to generate that revenue. Time to jump back in the car. So you're saying what Bartek did, putting cement board on the 4mm steel, it's strong enough?
Yeah, it's strong enough.
The down stand is made out of aluminium?
Yeah, and we're going to be ready for the next week when they arrive.
Okay, perfect, David.
All right.
Thanks, mate. Try and make my way back to the yard, but there's so many emails that I needed to answer. I've just pulled over by the side of the road at the refurbishment project. We have decided, and we can push on with the fabrication of the stairs so we can get it in ASAP. Thankfully. It's Friday morning. I'm in the yard. Tired. It's been a long week so far, and it most definitely isn't over yet. In the backyard, we are about to start the work with the containers. While we're taking a back from one and a front from another and putting them together, we've scraped back the earth and found an area where there's already a concrete base. So we put down some sleepers, and now we're going to move the rest of the containers and try and attach them together. The Central London job I visited a few weeks ago, the plans have now come through from the surveyors. It's a very detailed plan. So now we have this, we can have a discussion with the client, and we can move on to the next step, which is the proposed plans. If they tell us the layouts and what they're thinking of and any pictures they have, we can put together something to go over with them before we can come up with the finalised plans and start going for planning. Just had a quote come through from UK Power Networks to upgrade the infrastructure at the refurbishment project. Now they have just given us a quote of £100,000 to upgrade the incoming from 100 amp to 160 amp. You know what happened to the Messenger in 300 when it got kicked down the well? That's how I feel about going to the client, telling them that they want 100 grand to upgrade the infrastructure. By our calculations, if everything was on in that property on full blast, it would be at 100 amp, which would mean the fuse board would trip. And I mean absolutely everything if all of it was on. Will that ever happen? But do you spend £100,000 for something that may never happen? It's a difficult one to know what's right. Tuesday coming, I am going to be doing an entire day with press for the show, and it's called a press junket. And I'm looking at Zooms, and I am back to back every 20 minutes with a different newspaper or press office or TV channel. That's going to be a busy day. I think in a minute I want to pop down and check the progress of the containers, and hopefully we'll be bolting them together in a minute. 6:58, everyone's gone home. It's nice and quiet. Take a look around. One good back unit, one not so good front unit, but we've already dismantled it. We can see clearly here now the steel frame. We're going to give this a rub down and put some oxide on it because it looks definitely rusty. We need to take down everything on the roof and redo it. We have our board and we're going to begin to build this area. So build here with the 8x2 and then build it along the front up to about 1.2. Fill in the sides a little bit and then we'll decide what size window we're going to have. But once we leveled the ground, you can see that they lined up perfectly. Look at that. Spot on. We don't even need to put the bolts in it. And then there's these. Sitting nice and straight on the concrete pad and the sleepers. This is going to be my office when we dismantle it. That'll be all glazing along the front, and we'll work out what we're going to do with the other two once we strip them down. Now this isn't as level as the first one over there, but it's enough that we can try and put some sort of seal at the top where the two sides join to ensure we don't get any more water in it. So work out the plan with the first one and then we'll have a better idea of what we're going to do with the rest of them. And that's it for Friday in the yard. Saturday, I'm in the yard. It's not very busy today and the weather's taken a bit of a turn. Had to draw for the Scania jacket, my winter wear, but I still got my shorts on, obviously. We're just loading lorries for Monday, doing maintenance, making sure all the wheel nuts are tight, making sure we don't have any punctures, and we are greasing. A very remarkably unremarkable day, but we're still here. Now it's not often that letters get to me, but there was a letter on my desk and I've opened it. And there's a client who would like to confirm delivery of 6 loads of 6F5 from Roadstone Quarry to Emily's Garden Development in Gollen and 6 loads of muck away. And they've got photographic evidence, which I checked, and I didn't realise, let's look here. At first I was like, what has Terry gone and done here? How on earth can we afford to go and deliver material to Ireland? What kind of madness is he doing? And then I saw the photographic evidence. I was like, right, it makes sense. But that wasn't the giveaway. The pictures didn't give it away. The last line here says, Michael O'Donovan has already provided payment and there's no outstanding balance. That's when I knew that this wasn't true, because I've been struggling to get that man to buy a round of drinks since the day I met him. Hey! So I know that he didn't pay us for us going delivering material for you. I did think this was quite funny and quite cool. And that's it for Ashville Weekly episode 148. click here for the Ashville website. Click here to subscribe to our channel. Click here to see an Ashville video you may not have seen before, and click here for last week's episode, which was number 147.